The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Snozberries? Who ever heard of a snozberry?
What is a snozberry?
So we went to eat before this podcast because that's one thing we love is food and beer. So we are drinking snozberry beer from I think it's a wheat ale from Rickety Cricket, right? A berry vanilla wheat ale. Yeah.
It's a local brewery here, and they have a tap house in Lake Havasu also. What is a snozberry though?
It's from Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
there is no snozberries.
I mean, it's good.
Veruca actually is right. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And then we had
It's when they licked the wallpaper, remember?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah, I remember.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
And we had the prickly pecker pizza, which is a prickly pear barbecue chicken pizza. It's
with blue cheese.
It's delicious.
And green onions. Were those green onions on it? And chicken?
Yeah, and it's like a deep dish.
Yeah.
So
it's very thick crust.
It seemed a little pricey, but you eat one piece and you're full.
I know. Yeah, because it's like a sponge.
Yeah.
It even kind of looked like a sponge, the crust. It's
hence why we need the beer.
To soak it up.
Yeah. So, I'm a little sore today. I went up to Vegas last night with my kid. Went to go see Godsmack yet again.
How many times is this?
My 34th time seeing Godsmack.
And his fourth?
His fourth, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which the show was great. Awesome show. But I think I'm getting a little too old for this. Because I went to leave, and I'm parked probably 7/10 of a mile away. And I left there, and my back was my lower back was just killing me.
That's the worst back pain, too. I'd rather have upper back pain.
Yeah, and you know how you have to go up the escalator, walk across the bridge, go down the other side to cross the streets for those who don't know Las Vegas Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Which I try to avoid at all costs for this. So the escalators were out, so I was having to walk up the stairs. And I was literally having to pull myself up the stairs, like on the railing, hand over hand. And I try to avoid the Strip. It just seems like since the pandemic, Vegas has gotten worse. Have you noticed that?
How so? I've only been a couple times since.
I don't know. Just people. I think just now are just kind of more selfish and everything like that. Because we were at Planet Hollywood, so you have to walk by Paris, and they have the Eiffel Tower replica, and this girl is with her friends, and then they want to take a selfie with the Eiffel Tower in the background. Well, they just stop 4 wide, and I have a bad back, I mean? It's hard to stop quick. It's like, go around them. And then the next guy, he's with his friends. He's like, hey, look at that. And he backs up and steps on my foot.
I know. People are, Vegas is a mess. Because most people are drunk, too. So that's why they're just, doing whatever the hell they feel like,
Yeah, I try to avoid that. So I try to go on the streets up and behind the Strip and just walk in from other directions.
Did you stay or you had to drive back?
I just went home. So the worst part about it was I finally make it back to the car, and you got to pay the fee. And I don't know why they can never set the height right on the self-pay where you insert your stub and then you insert your credit card. Because if you're in a truck, you have to bend down. If you're in a car, you have to like unbuckle your seatbelt and reach up. You know what I'm saying? Well, I had done that, and I still couldn't quite reach, so I opened my door a little bit to put my credit card in, and my wallet was in my lap. So then my wallet falls out, hits the corner of the door, and bounces towards the pay machine. So now I pay, but now I can't see my wallet because of the car door. Because the car door I can't open it enough. I'm starting to panic, because I'm afraid you only have so long before the gate comes down again.
Uh-huh.
So I pull up to get the nose of my car underneath the gate, hoping it has a sensor, so it doesn't, so I don't have to pay twice. But now my wallet is behind me, you know what I mean? And I have a bad back, and I still can't open my door. So I have to reach out, fully extend my arm, and get it with my fingertips. And I was in so much pain.
You should have told Colin to run around and get it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But I get the wallet, and then I go out, and I make a right-hand turn to go out, and just an exit.
Mm-hmm.
And I stop, and there's a car coming. And immediately, as soon as I stop, the guy behind me starts blaring his horn.
Oh, God.
And I go full Boston mode. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And my kid's like, whoa. And I'm just like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but, good show and stuff. But maybe I'm just getting a little too old to do this anymore.
You go to a lot of shows, though.
Yeah.
So, and you've seen a lot of people, so if you had to tone it down a little, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. Speaking of music, Kid Rock, he went to a concert a couple of weeks ago.
Got busted drinking a Bud Light.
Drinking a Bud Light.
Like, fine if you want to be a hypocrite at your home and continue to drink it, But it's like, why would you do that out in public knowing that everyone has a cell phone? Like, they're not going to take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Or record you drinking it, Like, you just sound like a moron.
Yeah.
And we totally had him pegged. I mean, he was doing it. He went and shot up his cans of Bud Light with his AR-15 so he could, sell more record albums. Wasn't it an AR-15? I can't remember.
I think it was the AR-15. It was something really similar.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I said at the time he's just posing to appeal to a certain crowd.
He needs to sell records.
Yeah, but now he's busted, and of course the defense was, "How do you know? When was that picture taken?" I'm like, well, it's because it says he's on. It was at this certain concert.
Right. It's like, well, because of the concert, dumbass. And because usually when people record stuff or take pictures, it says the date on the phone in which that was done. Does he not know that?
Yeah, I mean, not all conservatives, but that is very conservative thinking. Like, they just give it time, and then it goes away. Like, I'm never watching football again, right? I am never watching football. And they watch football next year.
Mm-hmm. They got mad at NASCAR. They're back at NASCAR.
They're mad at Bubba Wallace, Then they got mad at the other driver for, posting liking the George Floyd meme.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what it is. But then Alice Cooper, he went on a rant about transgender people and saying, well, a man is a man, a woman's a woman. Well, now, this guy renamed himself Alice. He used to wear dresses on stage. He wears makeup. I mean, come on. And he had a makeup endorsement. And he lost that because of this. So now Alice Cooper's canceled.
Oh, God. Here we go again.
And then Santana, he was on stage in New Jersey the other night, and he went on a rant. A man's a man and a woman's a woman. You can't tell me any different. Science is science, and blah, 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 blah. And he had to come out and apologize because of the backlash that he was getting on it. And he goes, I don't know what I was thinking that night. I don't know why I said that on stage.
How come people don't just yell out at him, you started out as a girl? Like, what the fuck? All men start out as women, just so you know.
Did you see that after 20-something years, they have just broken the full Y chromosome code?
Mm-mm.
That was just this week that they finally broke the coding, which is going to lead to a lot of breaking down on maybe cancer and other research things by knowing, what's fully in this chromosome.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it will also be able to explain that it's not this cut and dry. You're a man or a woman. Yeah, you're a man or a woman, but we all start off with the X chromosome.
But every person on this planet literally has DNA from a man and a woman, too. That's what I don't understand. It's like it's not like you don't have both sex's DNA inside of you, too.
Yeah, and I don't get... I guess, when this is something that, we've touched upon a lot, like, I just don't understand why Carlos Santana cares. How does it affect him at all?
Think of how many more of your shoes you could sell. Doesn't he make shoes? Women's shoes?
Is that going to appeal to people that buy women's shoes going on anti-trans rants?
No, I'm saying think of how much more shoes he could sell, though. Like, he has really cute shoes. Like, I'm pretty sure he has, like, a shoe line.
I didn't know
Santana shoes or something.
I didn't know. Huh. Shit. Well, again, Alice Cooper in trouble, Carlos Santana in trouble.
I mean, trans women might want some cute heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I just think it's all ridiculous. How there's certain things going on in this country that
it's like
we should be getting them out about.
Everything's just a fucking fight anymore. It's like every day is a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just.
And then it's like, don't you find it funny too that like the people now who are like when I think of like the MAGA people, I like to keep my distance from them because I think that they glorify violence. Just like how, like, we've mentioned this before on podcasts too, where how they used to be so against like music videos, like rap, in particular rap videos, glorifying violence and guns and all that. They literally do that now. They're always talking about how they want to beat someone's ass or shoot someone or whatever, It's all violence with them. They're like a violence cult.
Yeah, like.
And they want to start another civil war.
Like the Jason Aldean thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's like just making me more and more leery of them. I'm like, what's with all your fucking violence? What is with the goddamn violence? The violence fascination on that side. When you folks used to sit there up in arms screaming about how terrible it was that it was being glorified in music videos. Yeah.
Well,
in the 90s. You've literally become that.
Well, it was because it's coming from one certain community, though.
Right. I know, but it's like they're still hypocritical. It's like you've literally turned into what you used to bitch about.
Yeah, and then if somebody calls you out on it, then you get mad at them and say, you're canceling my, my singer.
I know. I don't remember. And back in the day when Two Live Crew actually got canceled, what did they do? They came out with a snappy little song, Banned in the USA. Why can't they do something creative like that then?
Right. And they got the Chicks canceled. Because the Chicks stood up to George Bush Jr.
Right.
And country radio wouldn't touch them after that. And what was their response? Natalie Mainster said, fuck it. And like, hey, I'm going to write a song I'm not ready to make nice.
Right?
I was like, more power to you. And I have to hand it, I'm not a huge fan of the Chicks, but I have to hand it to how they stood their ground on that one.
Yeah, turns out they were right, too.
Yeah, it was a bullshit war.
I mean, my God.
Which led to Afghanistan and turned into a 20-something-year war that... To give Donald Trump credit where credit's due, he's the one that came up with the deal to end the war.
Right. So that's what now I find weird about, because lately it's come out where people are blaming Biden for pulling out of the wars. And I'm like, well, who Biden only finished what Trump had initiated. Trump already said we're getting out of the war.
Right, and it would have looked bad if Biden would have continued.
Right. So, but now he's literally getting shit from, like, some of the family, too. Like, this is bullshit that he pulled out of this war, blah, blah, blah.
Now, I will say this, and I think I blame more the military leaders than Biden, is there should have been a better plan.
Right.
To get out. But then how do you do that? You can't leave the billions and billions of dollars of equipment. The enemy can't see us, all that equipment suddenly leaving or slowly leaving, and not go, what's going on? They would know that something would happen. And then it turns out, of course, because you can't trust, people over there. It's just a fact. It's not, saying anything bad about those people, but you can't trust them because they're in fear of their lives. And they didn't stand up like they were supposed to. As soon as we left, and Al Qaeda was coming back in, they just rolled over and gave up.
Yeah.
But
why would you do that?
The wars, and
like you would have thought that they would have had like a 20-year long lesson, like
And you hear also the argument like, well, Trump's the only one who didn't get us into a war during his presidency. And I'm like going, well, no, technically it ended under Biden's presidency, and Biden hasn't per se gotten us into another war. Although, what's going on over in, Ukraine.
No, but
that's kind of a shadow war.
We're not in the war, though. I mean,
technically.
He's sending aid to Ukraine.
Yeah.
But
yeah, technically we're not in a war.
Because we don't want to be in another war.
No. Especially Russia.
Yeah. But we also don't want Putin winning. I mean.
Speaking of Russia, how can...
Oh, the plane.
How?
Plane getting shot down out of the sky? Mysteriously?
You're exaggerating there. The plane crashed. There's no evidence of it being shot down is the official message that's being given out. Right?
But I thought a missile
crashed.
Was shot at it. No?
I just hit the plane crashed.
What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that country? Like, you would think that somebody would try to be like, you know what, I've had it with you.
Yeah. Well, the problem is you would have...
Even if they had to give up their own life to do it, to fucking take his ass out. I just don't understand it.
I think that's why he's so crazy, is because he must insulate himself from everybody, that nobody can get to him.
Right. I've heard, like, when he, like, anytime he does anything, he's very far away. He's far away from everyone to begin with.
How do you get good food? Because I would assume you wouldn't trust anything coming in.
That's had to have made him even crazier all these years.
Yeah, if you can't get good food.
Right. He probably only trusts certain people to make it.
He certainly wouldn't try these schnozberries. He couldn't. It'd be poison. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. But he probably would be poisoned if he, what's he going to get, a DoorDash? If you got DoorDash for Putin, would you go maybe pull over, get a little cyanide, and,
Cyanide capsule?
Yeah. Here you go, Putin. No tip necessary.
It's on the house. I even paid for your meal.
Yeah, it's on the house. Try us again. Nice to see you, Mr. Putin. Fuck. So they had this Oliver Anthony guy. I played this song before we started, and he has like the #1 song now. Richmond, north of Richmond. And I'm not going to rag on the guy too much. I get the point of the song. Really do.
Times are tough.
Times are tough. He's working overtime for bullshit pay.
Well, he's not, but some people are probably,
Well, no, he was. Up until by now, he probably is thinking about maybe not. He turned down a record deal.
Oh, wow. If he had the #1 song, though, you'd think he would make...
You think he would make
something off of that?
But I don't know how much you make on streaming. It's pennies on the dollar. I think you have to get millions and millions of streams to make any money. Like, we don't make bullshit on this fucking podcast.
Right.
So, And even to the point where, he does fall into the thing where, hey, let's blame the people on welfare for my taxes being high while they just sit around and do nothing. He kind of falls into that conservative narrative which I think started with Reagan, right? You were saying, where you blame the person on welfare.
Why isn't he blaming billionaires for only having to pay like 3% of their taxes? 3% of their money in taxes. I mean, those are the real welfare queens.
Yeah. So what he's doing, he's blaming the politician, but he's not going up the food chain enough. Because it's the billionaires, paying off the politicians that keep your wages low.
Right.
And it's your corporations who do not want to raise your wages. It's not the politician.
Corporations do not want to spend money on labor. They want the cheapest labor costs possible.
Right. So a little bit is misdirected. Now, I do get people taking advantage of the system.
That's the thing, too. To say that he doesn't have a point at all on that would be lying. I mean, he does have a point, but the majority of the people who are on welfare and get welfare services are not, they also have jobs too. That's how America is nowadays. It's not just lazy people. You're always going to have a percentage of any population that's just not going to want to do fuck all, I mean, you're always going to have that.
Yeah, I mean, I deal with that.
It's a very small...
Personally, I deal with that.
Right? You know firsthand. It's a very small percentage of people, though. Most of the people who are on welfare are, like, working moms. Working both parents in a home. Are they still need it to make ends meet.
And if you work quote-unquote full-time at Walmart, which really isn't full-time... you still have to rely on government assistance to get by. Yeah,
well, look at how expensive. Remember when I just texted you this week and I was like, you'll never believe who called, and I don't want to use I'm not even going to use their name, internet service. And I told you, this is just for internet. This woman was like, yeah, we're up and running finally in your area and I got some prices for you. Da, da, da. I'm so excited to give them to you. I'm like, okay, well, let's hear them. Just for internet, but the fastest speed, and I can't remember all the numbers, the speed numbers or whatnot, $185 a month.
For just internet?
For just internet, for the fastest speed.
Not bundled with cable or anything?
No, just internet. That is it. Second level, like the medium speed level, $105 a month. And then the lowest was $75 a month. Okay, if you're a family of 4, let's say you both parents working and 2 kids, how do you afford that on top of all the other shit too? And internet's pretty necessary when you have kids going to school. A lot of the stuff they do has to be done with computers and online and whatnot.
I thought part of the infrastructure plan was, though, high-speed internet.
I thought it was, too. I thought that...
well, is it just to provide internet?
I thought it was for cheaper broadband.
Was it for access to internet? Was it just to make sure everybody has access to it?
I thought that they were doing it for cheaper broadband because they kept making the point that you shouldn't have to take your kids to McDonald's so they can use the Wi-Fi there. You should be able to have Wi-Fi at your own home so that your kids can do their schoolwork.
Right. And I know you don't really go to McDonald's, and I don't either, but have you gone just to be like, hey, let me grab something quick? It's expensive as fuck.
Oh, I know. Yeah. All fast food is expensive now. What's up with that? Like, there's literally no more dollar menus anymore, are there?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I haven't seen one in the couple times that I've gone to.
What's $1 worth? But again, this is the corporation that's doing all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the dollar isn't worth shit. And I guess that's a byproduct of keep on printing money, and the value of dollar is nothing because there's no standard behind it. Mm-hmm. I understand that. But this is something that has been going on forever and ever and ever. It's just not one president.
Yeah, all of them. I think I think I had heard the other day that it even happened like under Eisenhower too, where like the numbers were all out of whack with the dollar and the value and all that, and inflation too. I think he had a higher inflation than we have right now. Back then.
Yeah, I mean inflation is nuts. Mm-hmm. All over, but again. It's corporations and shit.
Price gouging. Why wouldn't they take advantage of it? Would we really expect anything less from these folks?
No.
I mean, at this point.
No, not at all.
They are in it for the money. Capitalism rules.
Well, and you see like over in Maui that, oh God, what they're like 100 and something dead and there's still 388 missing, something like that. But these corporations are already going up when these people have nothing and they're just trying to buy their land up. That's what it's kind of ugly. And the corporations will. Eventually they'll succeed and there'll be a such and such mega casino on that property.
They're no better than like. Did you ever watch that show Hoarders on, like, I think it was like on A&E or whatever?
No.
Hoarders. That's exactly what they're like, but they hoard money. I mean, they're the same thing. Like the person that hoards like stacks and stacks of newspapers and what all the other shit that they got hoarded up in their house. These people are the same. They're just hoarding money. They've got the same disease though. It's a disease. It's a mental illness. It is a disease.
And what's it gonna get you? What's that?
I don't know.
What's that all money gonna buy you when the planet is fucked?
Yeah, it's like where do you think you're gonna go? My number one question would be: do you think you get to take that with you, or are you gonna have it burned up and put in the urn with you? Like, hey, when you put me in the oven, to cremate me, make sure you put all my stuff in there too.
Right.
I mean, is that what you're planning? Is that going to make you feel better?
Right. And you have the politicians. Climate change isn't real. It's just a way to milk money. Okay, in Hawaii, you had hurricane winds and a wildfire. In LA last week, you had a hurricane and an earthquake at the same time.
What do you even call it? A hurricane? A hurricane? Hurricane?
Yeah, doesn't that sound like those stupid sci-fi science fiction TV movies?
Twilight Zone, dude.
Yeah. Hurricane.
In the fifth dimension. We're in the fifth dimension.
It was ironic that the hurricane was called Hillary, though.
I know. And kind of comical.
Yeah.
Like the wrath of Hillary.
Yeah. That's what you get for living in California.
Oh God, the part of it that it hit though, that's a lot of that is Republican, the Southern California's got more in the outskirts. I'm not talking like the metropolitan, because any state's like that. The metropolitan areas, that's where you're going to find the blue areas, of any of the states. Well, and then it's always the outskirts that's the red areas.
Well, do you remember the DJ Kennedy from MTV?
Yes. She's on Fox now?
Yeah, she's on Fox now.
Yeah.
And she was just like, see, that's because of Biden's open border policies. The hurricane came right on through from Mexico. I'm like,
what?
Okay. Yeah.
So the hurricane snuck through our borders too.
Correct, because it's Biden's fault.
And you know what? By her sitting there screaming that, I think we've mentioned this before on the podcast too. You get those stupid fucking morons at Fox News up there on their soapboxes sitting there screaming how the borders are wide open. Newsflash, assholes. I don't know if you guys know this, but your news program is aired like in several other countries. Definitely aired in Mexico. I've seen it I've seen it on the TV when I've been at a lovely resort in Mexico. Okay, it is aired there. What do you think the message is being sent when you are up there screaming that the borders are wide open?
Yeah, like, oh,
that's
the borders are
time to come.
open. Yeah.
It's like they can't get any dumber.
When in fact, the borders are not open.
They're not open. That's the saddest thing. But they keep screaming, especially Ted Cruz. He's famous for always saying, Biden's got the borders wide open. That gives a signal for people that it's time to come because they're hearing, oh, the borders are open in America. Time to go.
And of course, if you're watching Fox News, you're going to believe it because people believe whatever they hear on Fox News.
Oh, they believe whatever they hear. Yeah, whatever they hear.
But then they say those who listen to a more liberal news source that we're brainwashed. You know what I'm saying?
I understand. Number one, I don't watch MSNBC. And number two, MSNBC has a shit ton of they're token conservatives. They have way more conservative hosts on there than Fox has conservative or the token liberal ones.
Right. Well, the token people at Fox is like the Candace Owens, you know.
She's a conservative, though.
Well, she's a conservative, but she's also black.
Well, right.
But that makes go, well, see, even blacks agree with us. You know what I mean? That's why they have her.
Oh, right. They do that. But I'm saying them having the other point of view people. They don't, I think they maybe have one, don't they? That one, I can't think of her name. The one that will actually challenge some of the conservative people who come on. I can't think of her name off the top of my head. But, like, you go to MSNBC, they've got a ton of conservative hosts.
Well, to be fair.
Morning Joe.
Well, to be fair, though, CNN does that with, like, what's his name? Rick Scott. He's one of the conservatives that's always on CNN. And he's always...
Skeletor?
He always sorts of fucks up the point that the conservatives are trying to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rick Scott, the one that wants to do away with Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he actually had the bullet plan, bullet point plan.
Or, you know who a good conservative's mind is, and he's always on Bill Maher. His name's Rick also. You know who I'm talking about. Glasses, beard, I think he's got bald head.
Oh,
Rick.
The Lincoln Project.
Yeah.
But he's not really... Okay, so I think he might still consider himself conservative. He is no longer a Republican, though. He's independent because of Trump. He's awesome. I love that dude. Like, if all Republicans were like that, yeah, they'd be fucking cool. Like, they don't have to be raging lunatic.
Yeah.
You know, the maggots have taken over the party, so that's what we're stuck with now.
Yeah.
But the Lincoln Project dude, he's awesome, though. I like him. He's always got excellent points, too.
Yeah, he does. No, he makes a whole lot of sense on it. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Yes, Rick Wilson. That's it. Thank you, Snow.
Rick Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
I like that guy.
So I watched parts of the Republican debate on it. And of course, Trump had to trumpet and do an interview with Tucker on X. Although I don't know how many views they got.
I heard that they had people that tuned into it.
The moments I did see of the Republican debate were sort of entertaining. That Vivek guy was...
Vivek Ramaswamy?
Yeah, he's unhinged.
He is quite the performer, isn't he?
I would say that, yes, that was performance art at its finest.
He is a performer.
Yes, 9/11 was an inside job.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
I missed that part then.
Yeah.
I had to watch it, I try to go in and watch it on YouTube, and you could not just find the one straight from Fox. I kept going through all of them, so finally I picked this one where there was, the Cartier family was watching it, and then they were sitting there giving a couple of their comments while watching it. That's the best I could do.
But they were still firmly in the Trump camp, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I imagine they liked what Vic was saying.
That's who they liked the best out of him was Vivek Ramaswamy. They're like, but like somebody made up a good point about that because there were when I was listening to the radio or my show that I listen to, some of my shows, they're like, this guy called in and he was real cool too, but he's like, yeah, I thought you might want to know what like a conservative thought about the debates, right? Blah blah blah. So the host was like, yeah, sure. What do you think about it? And he's like, well, I thought that Vivek Ramaswamy won because he goes, and let me tell you the reason why I liked him the best too, because he's like an outsider. He has no experience like in politics. He's not a politician. And so the host did bring up a good point though. He's like, so are you the type of person then? He goes, let me understand this. Are you the type of person that if a doctor has good reviews, you're not going to go to that doctor. You're going to go to like one that has either bad reviews or no reviews yet. Like that's where you want to go. Like you would rather do something like that than have anyone with experience. You would trust anyone else over someone who actually worked in that field.
Right.
And it was like, that's a good point. It's like,
right.
Why are you guys so attracted to people who have look at what somebody who was an outsider did while they were president. Now they're fucking, how many indictments is that motherfucker racked up now?
91.
Yeah. Like, they do shit like take fucking files that don't belong to them because they're going to go, sell them? That's my best guess on why he took all those.
Yes.
He was going to make money off of them, right?
Yes, and
that's what we want.
There are instances where they saw him chewing up documents and then flushing them down the toilet.
I know. That's what we want. We want somebody with that little of experience that doesn't know, hey, I'm not supposed to take these. Because the other people who have had experience, who have also gotten busted for having documents that they weren't supposed to have, the president, the current president, Biden, the former vice president, Mike Pence, what did they do? Because of their experience in politics, they were like, oh, I have these, I better give them back because they're not mine. And they turned them over.
Right. And in defense of Pence and Biden, I can see how it happens because you have interns and stuff like that packing up your stuff. I'm sure you're not reviewing these documents hand by hand. You're like, oh, this got mixed in with...
And I'm not supposed to have it. I better turn it back over to them because I don't want to be indicted.
Yeah. But no, the bumbling mushmouth can't find his way up.
Mushroom dick, too.
No. I'm talking about Biden.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
The bubbling mushmouth guy who can't find his way upstairs is this criminal mastermind who set up Trump.
The mushroom dick.
The mushroom dick. Right? This bumbling guy who can't find his way around the White House because him and Hunter are doing coke. This guy is the one that is a criminal mastermind.
Don't we always hear from the right too? He never knows where he is at any time of the day. He doesn't even know where he is. So this is somebody who doesn't even know where they are, but they're able to mastermind all this. How in the fuck does that happen?
Yeah.
Somebody tell me. Because if I could get in on something like that, I think I might be able to create my own money-making scheme somehow.
Speaking of mushroom dick, you saw the mugshot, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks constipated.
Doesn't that look like...
I really have to take a shit.
Doesn't that look like every mask from Scooby-Doo? Right before they rip it off, it goes... And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Yeah.
That's the exact same face on every mask.
No. But hey, what did I say? What did I text you? I was like, watch. He's going to get that, print it on a t-shirt, and start selling them.
Yes, and everybody,
And he did.
it does sound like we whipped this together on the fly. We turn on the mics and let it fly. But no, there's a little bit of, we run jokes by each other over the course of the week. And yes, immediately, when that mugshot came out, Snow said immediately, without hesitation,
he's going to make fucking t-shirts out of it. Well, because I was thinking, I go, oh my God, remember how they used to sell like the Charles Manson t-shirts?
Yeah.
The Charles Manson t-shirts, get it with the arresting thing on there or whatnot. All of them, I think, all the serial killers had them.
Yeah. Well, and, even like the thing when Hillary called them deplorables, they had the deplorable shirt a couple days later.
Oh, I know. They went and turned around and made Proud Deplorable. I've still seen people rolling around with that one every once in a while. Proud Deplorable right here.
With your little American flag here.
Oh, you've always got to have the flag on there. That's what proves that you're a true patriot, right?
And then the two cross guns over here on the shoulder here.
You've got to represent the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
When the First Amendment is being represented by what's on the front of the shirt, okay, you got to keep it America. Then you got to have your Second Amendment. Then you got to have your Proud Patriot patch over here.
Yeah.
Because people can't tell that I am an American and a proud American unless I put that shit on a fucking shirt.
But why is the flag always backwards?
Is it?
Yeah.
Do they always have it backwards on their shirts?
I think so.
Probably because Trump designed them? I don't know.
Trump doesn't design it.
Well, he wouldn't know.
He can't even design a good face. I would have been up like there.
He designed.
I would have sat in front of that camera for my mugshot. I would have thrown up gang signs. Yo.
I know why I don't. Well, didn't you hear how
he should have done like the Tupac thing, crossed his arms and.
Did you hear how they were rehearsing what his face was going to be like before? Because he had told them, I want to look menacing on there.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, they were rehearsing how his face was going to look for his t-shirt. And then the most important thing I want to bring up about the t-shirt.
Did they show him the movie Throw Mama from the Train? Because that's exactly what his face looked like.
God, and I haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh my God. Okay.
But I mean, I can do a pretty good Anne Ramsey impersonation. Owen, get me some goddamn soda.
Is that the actress's name?
Anne Ramsey, the late great Anne Ramsey. Yes.
Well, dude, the face Trump made is exactly the same. It is.
Yeah. Maybe he's an Anne Ramsey fan. You know? The thing that I found most hilarious about the shirt though was it's his mugshot,
right,
with his prisoner number on it, P1 whatever, I can't remember the whole number, and it says never surrender. When you literally just surrendered in Georgia, you flew your Learjet, you flew your fucking Trump Airlines.
Tell me that's not the face.
I know. It is. It's the face.
Yeah. One of the funniest ones I saw was it had like the cartoon of the white guy with the MAGA hat on, and like, we want another civil war, and then the next block it's like going, okay, well, your leader surrendered again in Atlanta. How many times do you want to do this? And then the next block was the confused face, and then went back to the angry face.
I'm ready again, whenever he calls it.
But no, this is all just I got the newsletter from Gosar today. It's just all election interference. I don't know.
I'm glad you have the patience to get emails from that jackass.
And now in Georgia, don't they want to, like the Georgia legislature wants to disbar the Georgia DA on the head-to-head case?
Yeah, I mean, I vaguely heard a little bit about that. I mean, we'll see what happens.
I don't see how you could do that.
Like I was saying, if they did that to her, then Biden should just go ahead and replace Merrick Garland with her because Merrick Garland. Oh.
Well, the problem being is, if she did get disbarred, then it goes to a federal level. Then he could technically pardon himself if it gets elected.
Right.
But I don't think he would be elected though. I think it's like 65% of independent voters say they wouldn't vote for him.
Right. Well, and the polls are like, you can't really trust the polls too much because young people don't really answer their phones. You know what I mean? Like, I'll admit, even I don't. When I get numbers that call that I don't know the number, a lot of times I don't answer my phone, and a lot of those calls are like pollsters trying to call to ask you, because I've answered a few times, so I've done a couple of the polls, but I don't always answer.
I definitely don't. Now, my roommate does. He'll answer any call.
See?
And I'll be like, why are you answering that?
And that proves the point, though. He's a baby boomer. So he's a boomer. He's a Republican. Obviously, you know, he is one that is being polled for it. He is making their numbers go up on that side. But, I mean, people they need to not pay attention to the polls and just get out there and vote. You know what I mean? They need to vote either way.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it's also to the point where I think this election, I get the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. supporters. I understand that. I don't really agree with him. Mm-hmm. He has some valid points. I appreciate the work he does on the environment.
Yeah.
But again, is he more qualified to talk about pandemics than Fauci?
No.
You know, so, you know, he sort of loses me there. And what the conservatives are doing also is they're hyping up RFK Jr. to divide people away from Biden. It's not like they would actually vote for him.
Right.
I mean, they're going to vote for Trump no matter what.
They're not going to vote for a Democrat anyways to begin with, you know.
Yeah. And who's the other guy that's running?
Cornel West.
Cornel West. And I really like Cornel West.
I like Cornel West. But, well, here's my thing. I'm fine with all of them running, and because Marianne Williamson's running too.
Yeah.
I'm fine with all of them running. The thing that I'm not fine with is if any of them try to go do the third party thing and run as an independent. That would, you know, it's like, all right, you want to run, fine. Go ahead and run, you know. Run in the primary, because I don't think any one of them would beat him anyways. Yeah. None of them are going to beat him. I mean.
Well, in as much of a issue Trump is, and I don't think he's going to win, I still think it would be close, and I don't think we want to see what a Trump presidency would be like again.
I honestly don't think that Trump would ever win, because the thing is like the independents aren't going to be voting in. They can vote in the primaries, but like in our state, you have to request the ballot of whichever party you want to vote for. So you have to, if you're an independent person, you don't get to vote for both the Republican and the Democrat. They would have to request either to have a Democratic ballot sent to them or the Republican one, or on voting day, you know. They'd have to request, they only get one ballot, so they have to pick out of the two parties which one they want to vote on. And a lot of independents don't bother voting in primaries anyways because it is like that, you know?
Yeah, so who knows? I don't know, because my anxiety and stuff like that, I think about what if he did win. I think I'm just gonna move to Mexico if he does. I'm gonna go do the reverse.
Right.
I'm just gonna fly there.
You'd rather deal with the cartels than deal with Trump.
Yeah. I mean, look if he wins, right? You've already made the decision. You're out of here, regardless.
Most likely. I mean, well, I always say, maybe there would be a state that I could. I really don't want to stay in Arizona because of our water issue. I mean, I don't want to stay in the desert because the desert's going to have severe water issues. You know.
Yeah, inevitable.
It's already what Arizona had record-breaking temperatures this summer for several days in a row. Like, I think it was like 20 some days in a row at over 100 solid.
Yeah.
So
the climate change isn't real.
Now, if you listen to the Republican debate, it wasn't. It's a hoax. because we're supplied our campaign funds by the fossil fuel industry, so we have to be out there on our soapbox saying that it's a hoax.
And this is what it does.
Somebody should just say the backup question should be, how much do you hate your own children? I mean, honestly, how much do you fucking hate them?
I had that exact same conversation with my kids this weekend, and they both said that they do not want kids because they are not enthusiastic about what the future of the planet is going to be.
Right. I was talking about how, I want to make a meme that had a picture of the Earth, and she has a t-shirt on that says, "I hate humans." I mean, because honestly, if Earth could wear a t-shirt, it would say, "I hate humans." I mean, we're making her sick. She's sick. She's not in good shape.
Well, I look at the Earth as a living organism. And when there's a disease, your body tries to fight the disease. Now, how is it trying to fight the disease? You come up with all these fucking crazy-ass storms like we have never seen before.
Right.
To try to thin out the population and get rid of the disease.
Well, yeah, she's trying to do okay, if we have a disease, what do we try to do? Take medicine to put it in and flush it out. Her way of doing that is, having hurricane. Maybe I can shake some of these assholes loose.
Literally flush them out.
God, yeah.
And speaking about making memes, I wanted to make one of since Kid Rock is back on the Bud Light, and I'm sorry, Kid Rock's family, that now he's going to catch the gay. That Kid Rock would be like in the Brokeback Mountain movie. I can't quit you.
I don't know how to quit you.
I don't know how to quit you. And he'd be staring lovely at a Bud Light can while riding it, not a horse, a unicorn with a nice rainbow in the background.
And the unicorn could have a rainbow tail and mane.
Yeah.
And maybe even a horn could be rainbow too.
Yeah, because Kid Rock's got the gay from drinking the Bud Light.
I know. And he could be hanging out with, who's the person that he got mad at? Dylan Mulvaney? Is that it? Yeah, he could be sitting there doing a cheers toast. Because we all know you really don't have a problem with.
No, Dylan Mulvaney could be like the person, when you're on the racehorse and you got the person that's leading the racehorse and you go by the little, thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Could be doing that. It's
so anyway, it's since summer is wrapping up, I think we will start doing this regularly again. We've been kind of doing every other week instead of our usually weekly thing, but I think after Labor Day, which is one of our favorite holidays because we celebrate the working people, we'll get back on schedule. You'll hear more of us. We have some ideas coming down the pipeline. We'll try more beer. The Snozzberry was pretty good.
Snozzberries.
And it is kind of a gay-looking can, though, isn't it? It's all pink.
I like it, though. It's pink and purple. It's right up my alley.
I like pink and purple.
It's right up my alley.
Okay. Well, anyway, everybody, thanks for sticking with us, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.